Namaskar, friends. We all know what is the corona pandemic. But since corona pandemic was a temporary phase, but whereas insulin resistance pandemic is very, very prevalent. We'll examine that, and that causes the progression of lifestyle disorders. What are the lifestyle disorders? Fatty liver, obesity, blood pressure, PCOS, pre-diabetes, diabetes. Understand, from diabetes is the one which happens last. Let's examine that today. See, root causes of lifestyle disorders, we have been talking in this particular YouTube channel regularly. Toxicity, what is not required, you are giving it to the body. We are unable to eliminate those toxins from the body. What are the toxins? You have the stools, and then you have urine, and then sweat and the breath. And there is a net toxins in the body which is causing health problems. Nutritional deficiency. We don't eat nutritious food. We eat only cooked food. Cooked food is devoid of nutrition. Sedentary lifestyle, no physical exercise, poor mind management. We don't know how to handle the world. With the result, we are stressed, and stress causes lack of sleep. Night 7 hours sleep is a must. If these things are happening in your life, you are bound to get constipation, poor gut health, and then vitamin deficiencies, D and B12 vitamin deficiencies, and insulin resistance. See, friends, generally these are the ideal parameters. What are the ideal parameters? Fasting glucose should be 70 to 85. Look at it, it's very, very milligrams per deciliter. That means HbA1c is 4 to 5%. That means average 80 milligrams per deciliter. Blood sugar is an ideal one. For that to achieve, your fasting insulin is 3 to 5 units, right? So homoinsulin is that multiplication of fasting glucose multiplied by fasting insulin divided by 405. If it is below 1.5, visualize you are more healthy. That is how you get a good health span. So in this case, you have good fasting sugar, which is below 85 milligram per deciliter. Fasting insulin is also below 5. It's an ideal condition. But let me tell you, friends, I think hardly 10-15% of the world population will be having this particular range. Why? Because we are all doing something wrong. Let's look at them. See what we are doing, eating without hunger. That to high carb foods. We are all habituated to eat breakfast, coffee, tea, lunch, snacks in between, again coffee, tea, dinner. That means what? We are eating 5 to 6 times every day. So every time you are eating 5 to 6 times every day, that is called multiple eating episodes. Every time you eat, there is a sugar produced in the body after the digestion. To control the sugar, there is insulin. So constant insulin in the bloodstream will cause insulin resistance. On top of it, stress also will release the stored glucose from the liver, and then it gets into the bloodstream, and lack of sleep. So all this will be bombarding with the sugar. More sugar in the body, more insulin in the body to control the sugar. So over a period of time, we get into insulin resistance. So what happens after say 5-10 years, people are becoming insulin resistant. That means what? Fasting insulin is gone up beyond 7. Beyond 7 means it is not 7, it could be 10, 15, 20 also, friends. I have seen people as young as 20 years, 15 years, 18 years also, they have insulin levels are 15, 20, which is very high. HbA1c is below 5.6%, which is absolutely non-diabetic condition. Fasting glucose, when you check with these people, many times it will be below 99. It may be 80, 85, 70 also. But their insulin resistance is above 1.5 because high insulin. Fasting sugar, you check, it is all right. But whereas fasting insulin is high. See, friends, many times we are always checking only fasting sugar, at times HbA1c, but these two are not clear indications about insulin resistance. So let's look at it, friend. There are actually uh, three stages of insulin resistance. Stage one. So this is the beginning of insulin resistance. What happens? The insulin resistance is the mild insulin resistance above 1.5. So the people will develop slightly belly fat, weight gain. This is happening. The next stage is hyperinsulinemia. That means tons of insulin in the body. That means, as I told you, fasting insulin could be around 20, 15, 30, like that. So people are developing overweight, cardiovascular problem, blood pressure, PCOS. Whenever they check their fasting sugar, it is all right. HbA1c is all right, but they already got cardiovascular problems. I've seen people at this range, below 5.6% also, they have got a stent. and especially ladies have PCOD problem. Stage 3, this is PP sugar lower than fasting sugar. See, it's very surprising. See, I have got one particular member who has taken 75 grams of glucose and then given the test. And his fasting sugar was around 95 and PP sugar was below 80. See, that's how the high insulin will make the sugar levels low. And whenever a person has high insulin, he'll feel hungry. Even after eating 3 times, 4 times, he'll constantly feel hungry. Now, this is severe insulin resistance, friend. Now, next stage is what? Look at it, pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes is stage after crossing three hurdles, right? What is happening in pre-diabetes, friends? Fasting sugar is still below 125. Many times you see, surprisingly, it will be 100 also. If you only check fasting sugar, you will miss the bus to know pre-diabetes. So when you check the fasting insulin again, as I said below, beyond 7 means it could be 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 also. Whenever check, fasting sugar is okay, but fasting insulin is very high. This is the second stage. This is called pre-diabetes. Still, you don't require any medicine. You need to change your lifestyle. In this case, people develop CVD, PCOS, overweight, belly fat, blood pressure, all that. Let's look at the next stage, friends. This is what I talk to pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes is easily reversible by following this wellness secret lifestyle modifications. Very easy, friends. I only urge people to take the blood test. I was just sharing in the group also. One of my relative who was in abroad, who was hardworking guy, a workshop manager, 49 years. So I was telling him he was a little overweight. I've been telling him to take the blood test. He never taken. I have no problem. Why I should take blood test? A lot of people have this, opinion of why take blood test unnecessarily. Some doctors also suggest don't take unless you have some symptoms. Totally wrong, friend. When this guy got the test done, his HbA1c is 11%. Let me repeat, 11%, and he has no symptom. Please don't wait for the symptoms. Lot of people tell me that okay, we are waiting for the symptoms. Don't wait for the symptoms, friends. You must check. Now here his fasting sugar is okay, but fasting HbA fast insulin resistance is high. It is beyond 1.5. As I said, it could be 3, 5, 7, 8. I've seen people with 13. 13 means tons of insulin and sugar level may be 110, 105 only. So don't get misled by fasting sugar and HbA1c, friends. Now, if people continue the same, what is the continuation? Eating number of times, eating coffee, tea. As I told you, friends, other than water, anything else is food in your mouth. So if you take, say, 4 times coffee and eat only 2 times, you have to consider that you are eating 6 times. 6 times eating is the reason for the insulin resistance. Now, continued of this particular habits without any changes, you are getting into diabetes now. What is diabetes, friends? HbA1c above 6.5%. Here, fasting sugar is below beyond 126. Friends, there are two things which I have forgotten to say. Ideal PP sugar should be below 120. Ideal PP insulin is below 30. I've seen people with 90, 100, 120 and all that. What should happen, friend? Whenever you eat food, suppose you are healthy, you eat, say, 10 rasgulla, sweets also, within 2 hours, you see your PP sugar will be below 120. That is because your pancreas is working all right, you are metabolically healthy. But a sugar patient, if he eats one sweet also, his PP sugar will go beyond 200. So, most important is to check insulin levels, fasting insulin levels. Now, people continue that. Now, when somebody is diabetic, what happens? They are on medication, multiple medications. And again, the mainstream advice by the dietitians is small meals, 6 small meals in a day. I think this is the worst advice, friends. Yes, if you have high sugar levels, you may require some minimal medicine, maybe glycomet like thing, and change the lifestyle. It is something like it, friend. If there is a fire, so putting water is very important. So to quench the fire. But if you do, you have to see the root cause. Suppose there is a petrol pipe leaking into the fire and you continuously pouring water, it doesn't work. You must remove the root cause. Remove the petrol pipe, leaking pipe which is feeding the fire, and then douse it. Similarly, if you continue eating 6 times, you continue eating high carb foods multiple times, you will never ever get rid of your diabetes, friends. Now, what happens if somebody is not vigilant, disciplined, not taking action, not getting the right knowledge, and following the lifestyle modifications? What happens? from the medicines, 3, 4 medicines, oral medicines, should they get into insulin. What happens? This is the time on until all these stages, pancreas is producing tons of insulin. Now is the time pancreas has worn out because of continuous working. Suppose, friends, you are working 8 hours a day and you're working 5 days a week, you are very comfortable. Suppose your boss says you work for 2 shifts, all the 6 days a week. Then what happens to you? Now the next thing is you are asked to work all the 7 days and 3 shifts. What happens? You will break down very fast. Similarly, you have broken down your pancreas by these wrong habits, wrong advice. So pay attention, friends. What happens when you get into stage 4? Your pancreas will produce very less insulin. It is equivalent to type 1 diabetes. Then there is no other alternative but to take insulin throughout your life. So, friends, until stage 2, it's very easy. You can get rid of your thing, and on stage 3 also, to a large extent, you can get rid of it. A lot of people tell, friends, diabetes is because of overweight. It's not like that, friends. It is not like that. See, for example, on a road, you see an accident. Whenever you see an accident, you come after some time, you see there is a police van, or there is again a ambulance. So it does not mean ambulance is there. Ambulance has not caused the accident. Ambulance is there to help. So obesity has not caused the insulin resistance. It is insulin resistance which has caused the obesity. So it's like it is their part of it. Now, friends, what do we do? How do we go about it? This is the stage 4, severe diabetes. Pancreas worn out and becoming insulin dependent, like type 1 diabetes. A patient who has gone as a pre-diabetic to a doctor by following the medicine, not changing the lifestyle. See, few changes make people say, "Oh, I've stopped taking sugar in my coffee." And he says, "Oh, I'm doing a little bit of walking and I have reduced my food." These things will not work. They won't work, friends. You have to can't do half-hearted job. You have to be totally transformative. Right, friends? Now, look at it. What is insulin sensitivity? What is insulin resistance? See, if you are having fasting insulin 3 to 5, fasting sugar below 99, and your HbA1c is below 5.6%, that means you're insulin sensitive. What is insulin sensitive? Is health span. Health span means as long as you live, you are dependent on medicine. You are active and you are not falling sick. If at all you fall sick, you recover very fast. These are the simple symptoms of health span. And if anybody is not doing that, look at fasting sugar is above 100, I mean, fasting insulin is above 7, and HbA1c is above 5.7 is pre-diabetes, 6.4 is diabetes. If anybody is that, you are surely an insulin resistant. Let me tell you, friend, 90% of the population are stage 1. And maybe I don't know, stage 2, stage 3 also. But their sugar levels are okay. But most of them are having belly fat, are overweight, are having other health issues. So pay attention, friends. And friends, my name is Gangeshwar Rao. I'm not a doctor. So pay attention. Look at these 10 parameters. See this fasting insulin and the insulin sensitive, insulin resistance score you must know. Out of 10 parameters at one time, all my parameters were in red. I was poor. In 4 months in 2014, I've improved my health. Last 9 years, I've taken a mission to help people, to share my knowledge so that people can transform. Thank you very much for listening. If you like this video, please subscribe and share. And you can join my WhatsApp group. My mobile number is 9840852996. Thank you very much for listening.